Well, good evening, everybody. Give me a thumbs up in chat if you guys can hear me. We'll go ahead and get started here. The good old eclipse forecast is going to be the topic of discussion tonight. We'll also cover it tomorrow evening on our weekly live stream. We're going to go in depth of the upcoming week, as well as look at updated models and stuff like that for cloud cover across the region. Thank you, Alan. Says all good on the microphones. Awesome. So first and foremost, we do have a total solar eclipse upcoming here for Monday around, I was going to say around 3 p.m. will be totality, where it's going to peak at the highest percentage. A very small sliver of southeast Michigan is in 100% totality down by the Luna Pier area in Monroe County. If you guys are planning to go out and uh, look at totality, Luna Pier has requested you guys do not go there. Their infrastructure is just not meant to handle big crowds. So just keep that in mind for those of you who want to head out. And speaking of which, how many of you in here do plan to head out? Let me know in chat here. But I do want to hop in some of these models here and get you guys updated and acclimated to what we're kind of expecting in terms of the cloud cover forecast. I'm kind of stalling just a bit to allow more people to hop on here. It's not usually Saturdays are not usually a stream night for us, so it might be a little bit off guard. People may see this and but anyway, I'll go ahead and get started. We've been on here for 3 minutes. So overall, your eclipse time here in Michigan is going to be roughly the peak is going to be roughly around 3:05-ish to around 3:15-ish, depending if you're south or north. That's going to be your totality times. We went ahead and posted those times on our page earlier today. I'll go ahead and pull that back up in case anybody asked questions about those. But roughly, it's going to start about 1:50 p.m. And then it's going to end at 4:25. In between those, we're going to have totality where the sun and the moon align properly to give us, and here in Michigan, 85 to around 99% totality. So the eclipse begins around 1:55, so it's going to start moving together, and that's going to end at 4:25. But in between, the peak times are roughly basically across the state about 3:10 p.m. And then a little bit after that for some areas, but roughly 3:10 p.m. is going to be the time frame to monitor on models. So jumping over here to the cloud covers here, we use one model for cloud cover over anything else. We call it the RDPS. It's a Canadian model. It handles cloud cover fairly well. So the map you're looking here on your screen here is black and white. The black is clear skies. The white is indicating clouds. So this is current across the region. We have Michigan up here. We have Wisconsin here, Illinois here, Indiana here, Ohio here. So run this through the time frame here into tonight, into tomorrow. We see a cloud cover starts to move in overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So this says tomorrow is going to be increasingly cloudy as time goes on, but we're concerned more so about Monday here. So Monday is the day to watch. This is Sunday night into Monday morning. We're seeing all this high clouds, all these low-level clouds as well in this region, basically encompassing all of the Great Lakes region here. So as we move into the early to late morning Monday hours here, we're going to start to see a trend here. This is 8 a.m. We notice Illinois completely cleared out. South Wisconsin trying to get cleared out here as well. Let's go ahead and continue here. There's 9, 10, 11. We see this cloud deck begin to move eastward. It also starts to thicken, or not thicken, it also starts to thin as it moves to the east. And as we get closer to eclipse time, this is 2 p.m. where it's going to be starting. We have mostly clear skies across Illinois, Indiana, and actually this model here is indicating clear skies all the way up towards the Gaylord area. But East Michigan at this point is remaining in clouds. But we move this forward to 3 p.m. just before totality is expected. We see most, if not all, of lower Michigan is under clear skies, as well as Illinois there, as well as Indiana and West Ohio for sure. The main question for those of you guys in Ohio watching is how far east can that cloud bank get? This is roughly around the time of totality here. We see just a few clouds lingering around here in West Ohio, and over here in East Ohio, it's more so thicker. So at this point in time, we'd have released a forecast for our cloud cover. I'll throw it up on your screen here. This is the rough estimate of kind of what we expect. It has been posted on our page, shared from our sister page, Great Lakes Storm Chasing Network. Areas in green are what we expect to have the clearest skies. We could be dealing with some high cirrus clouds. But overall, if those do exist, it shouldn't impact viewing overly as much as low-level and mid-level clouds might. The further north you go into the UP, into northern Wisconsin, and at this point into northern lower Michigan towards Gaylord, Alpena areas, we expect more so cloud cover. We may have to adjust that area in Michigan. Northern lower Michigan look better here, just given the model has indicated up here toward northern Michigan is starting to clear out. So I would trust that that might be a legit case here. We'll watch trends into the overnight into tomorrow morning, make the forecast again. But up there in the red zone may flip you over to yellow and just kind of say it's been trending more so clear than clouds. So overall trend in the right direction for you guys over there. But most, if not all, of southern lower Michigan from I-96 south is expected to have clear skies, perhaps all the way up towards the Cadillac Bay City, Port Austin areas, Big Rapids as well, getting in on those might be clear skies, the yellow zone, kind of like a maybe zone there. And also East Ohio, for those of you going to Ohio or who have family or are living in Ohio watching us. The further east you go, the more uncertainty there is. That's why we have Eastern Ohio in the yellow zone there. So totality, though, looks to be through Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, looks to be really good viewing for right now. Only concern is this going to be high cirrus clouds, although um, that shouldn't really affect your viewing all that much with that. So overall, the forecast for April standards, you really can't get much better than this. But overall, I think this is going to come together really nicely. Um, I don't expect this to be, a surprise. Hey, we have clouds type of day. I think we're going to remain pretty much clear here, especially the further south you go and the further west you go. So, how many of you guys in chat here are going to be traveling to Totality? Let me know. I'm curious. Myself, I'm going to be roughly about 20 minutes away from the Totality line, so I'll just drive about 20 minutes to my south and probably be able to view it. But overall, the areas of totality are going to be just, again, in South Monroe County there towards Luna Pier area, south of Luna Pier into Ohio there. Main areas of totality here, Luna Pier at 313. I have Monroe at 313 as well, Ann Arbor at 313, Detroit at 312, Lansing at 312, Muskegon at 310, Grand Rapids at 311, Flint at 313, Traverse City at 312, Mackinac Island at 314, Sault Ste. Marie at 314, Gaylord at 313, back down south to Kalamazoo, Battle Creek 310, Mount Pleasant at 312, Iron Mountain at 310, as well as Port Huron at 315. So that's going to be totality there for you guys. And across the region, it's going to be less totality the further north you go. So up in Iron Mountain, for example, in the UP, you're at the lowest totality at 83% coverage. But if you're down in like Monroe, Ann Arbor areas, all the way up toward the Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Jackson, Lansing areas, Flint especially there, you're between 97 and 99%. So still totality, close to it, but still not the perfect 100%. If you guys are on that 99% line, you have ability to travel, I would highly suggest doing so. 100% totality is not the same as 99%. So if you guys have the chance, go. It's not going to be another one of these until 2099. So most of us will not be around next solar eclipse that happens in our area here. So just with that being said, I'll go over to the models, or not models, the comments here. Everybody in Michigan is going to have a chance to see this if the skies are clear. If you have clouds, unfortunately, obviously you're not going to be able to see that. But yes, Saline will see it. Jackson will see it. Ann Arbor will see it. So those areas, Saline, Jackson, Ann Arbor and Saline, you're 99% totality. Jackson, I have you down as 98% totality. So pretty close. But again, you guys are really close. If you have the ability to drive to totality down in Ohio, Indiana, do it. You will not regret it. Jenna, that's going to be 99% totality. So, not full 100%, but yes, you will be pretty close to it. Yes, Holly, very much so. That's kind of the way I look at life as well. If you have the chance, there's not going to be another one locally to us like this one for another, what is this year, 2024, 55 years. Nope, sorry, my math is completely off. 75 years. So most of us in here are not going to be around for the next one. So if you have the chance, go. It's so close to us. In fact, it's in Michigan, just barely in Luna Pier area down southeast Michigan. So any other questions, guys? We will go live again tomorrow for an update. 8 p.m., I believe, is a scheduled time. We'll also dive into some models for upcoming week. We may have a couple storm chances to talk about, but also warmth, long-term warmth to talk about as well. So we have some stuff to cover tomorrow evening for those of you who want to join us. We'll cover this topic again, looking at updated models and such for Monday's solar eclipse here. So Florida is way off the line of totality, so I'm not really expecting to, get much in the way of trying to use my words wisely here. I honestly don't know the totality map for Florida. I'm bringing it up here. I've only been focused on the Great Lakes region, so I apologize. Florida will not get in on this. The line of totality, you're going to be probably like 40%, 60 to 40, 40 to 60%, it says. So you are nowhere near what it's going to be like up here. What is totality in Hillsdale, Lenawee County? If it's not 100%, is a big difference. Yes, Brittany, it is a huge difference. It will not get dark in 99% or less. You'll notice a difference. It'll get darker, but in totality, it gets like dusk dark. And that doesn't happen outside totality. So that's why I said 99% is not the same as 100. So if you have the chance, do go. But for your question there, Lenawee and Hillsdale is in 99% totality. Got the kids' glasses anyway. So yeah, if you are outside totality, so basically if you don't live in Luna Pier area south and you're not going to drive, make sure you look with Eclipse glasses. Now, if you are in the path of totality across Indiana and Northwest Ohio, you have about a 4-minute period where you can look at the sun without glasses. Frankenmuth, you're going to be roughly about 95% totality. Everybody in Michigan is going to see this. It's just going to be a matter of how total is going to be. So further south is closer to totality, 100%. So like I just listed off some areas here. So like areas such as Monroe, Ann Arbor, Detroit, 99% totality here. Jackson is 98%. Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, 96%. All the way further north, Gaylord area, 88% up there. Mackinac Island's at 86. Traverse City at 88. Grand Rapids at 94. So yeah, it's just gonna be a matter of how total is going to be and if there's going to be clouds. But if you do have the chance to go to totality. No, there's nothing to be scared about for Monday, Jordan. I know there's been a lot of talk about the world ending. This is typical stuff that's been happening forever. This is nothing new. What is the forecast for high level clouds in South Illinois? Cirrus clouds, high level cirrus is possible, although I don't think it's going to hinder viewing all that much. No, Jenna, that is a great question. I'm going to bring up a map here, totality. It's not one that we've made, so I hope this isn't copywritten or anything like that. Let me find a local map here if I can. For those of you who are planning on going, definitely make sure your tank is topped off before you go. I would expect it to be crowded no matter if you're in the country rural roads or if you are in cities. So if you are going, make sure that you are prepared to be there for a few hours, probably longer than what you want to be. So specific question here was asked about totality in Indiana. Let me go ahead and pull this in here if I can get this to enlarge. Of course, we're going to run ads here. Let me see if I can't. It's not going to let me, is it? Nope. I should have came prepared, guys. I did not come prepared with a map. Can I save this picture? Is it JPEG? No, it's not JPEG. I can't save it. Oh, boy. That'll work. We'll just use this one. Perfect. Let me pull this in here. We're going to add that. We're going to add this. Please load. There we go. So here is your path of totality. Kristen, depending on where you're at, it's going to start, the eclipse is going to start at roughly 150, 155-ish, depending on where you're at. And then from there, it's going to work towards totality, and that occurs here in Michigan roughly around 310 to 315, depending on exact location. Steven, I'm not sure what you're trying to drop there in chat, but links are blocked. If that went through on anybody's end, it shouldn't have, but it went through on my end. We don't allow links here because of spammers and stuff like that. Mary, what area? Time period for totality is going to be between 3:10 p.m. on Monday and 3:15. That's for basically all of Michigan. Doesn't matter if you're in the UP or far south on the border of Indiana or in the thumb. It's going to be roughly that time frame. Although it's going to start around 155, it's going to end around 425. It'll be total right around 310. This comment was deleted by Mark Zuckerberg. That is hilarious, Roger. That is hilarious. So totality areas here. Now, keep in mind that we have expected 12 million people traveling for this across the U.S. Being that Illinois, Indiana, Ohio might be one of the only places to view this with clear skies, we may have a heavy influx of people, traffic, businesses, stuff like that. So if you're going to go to a major city, make sure you get there early. That's all I can say. So these are the major cities in Ohio. We have Toledo, Bowling Green, Defiance, Lima, Marion, Mansfield, Sandusky, Cleveland, Akron, and also Canton there on the side of it. Hamilton as well. If you're going to a major city, all I can say is be prepared to deal with a bunch of people in traffic. Indiana, you have just south of Fort Wayne, so Fort Wayne proper not included there. But you have Richmond, Kokomo, Muncie is in there too. I'm not sure why they didn't put Muncie on there. I got places like Bluffton on there, Indianapolis, Bloomington, Bedford, Terre Haute, Vincennes, Evansville, all the way back into Illinois, Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Paducah also in there from Kentucky. So as close as you can get to that blue center line is better, longer totality. But if you can make it into that shaded area, that is 100% totality. If you have the chance, go. That's all you can say. That is all we're going to say as well. So appreciate that, Steven. Feel free to message me that, honestly. Message the page that. I might be able to post that for people if that's okay. I'm not sure who made the map. If you made it, let me know if it's shareable. But overall, I'm sorry. We don't allow links. Just had too many spammers try to spam whatever they want. Some of them try to mimic our merchandise as well. It's crazy how bots are becoming sophisticated. All right. I don't see much in the way of any questions coming in here, so I'm going to hop off here. Just kind of recap this. So total solar eclipse happening Monday around totality is going to happen around 3:10 for us here in Michigan, 3:10, 3:15 around that time frame. You're going to see it roughly between 85 to 99% totality here in Michigan. Only one area in Michigan is in totality. That's Luna Pier in Monroe County. And the mayor of that city has requested that nobody travel to Luna Pier. They have construction going on, and their infrastructure is not properly set up to maintain a large influx of people. So they're asking people to divert to other areas. So if you do have a chance to go to totality, please go. 99% is not the same as 100. So if you have the chance and are able, it's highly recommended to go. Cloud cover forecast looking great. Further north you go into the UP in northern Wisconsin, not going to be able to see it up there. East Ohio still in jeopardy as well. But for South Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois, as well as West Ohio, looks to have pretty good chance at clear skies. So I'll hop back on here tomorrow evening. We'll also talk about a few other things on the upcoming week. We have some storm potential for Tuesday we are monitoring, as well as warmth, long-term warmth. So we'll cover those topics tomorrow at 8 p.m. right back here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to share the stream with anybody you know who wants to go. Otherwise, I'm going to hop off here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.